Hey guys, this is video for reading instruction. It is for Monday the 25th of January. We're still in day 2 of our instruction. So I'm going to review the vocabulary. I'm going to review the, just like I would in class, I'll review the vocabulary, review the amazing words, review our skill, and vocabulary and reading skill, and then give instructions on what you need to do next, okay? All right, so the first thing I'll do is review your vocabulary. The first word is poked. Poked. Remember, poked is to poke someone, to push someone with force. Overhead means something's over your head. It's a compound word that means something is hanging above your head or something is over the head, like the lights are over my head. The next word is narrator. The narrator is a person or an animal that might tell a story. So someone telling a story. Antlers. Those are those bony, bone-looking things, horns, that are on top of antlers, that are on top of goose and deers and moose. All right. Then you have languages. Languages are written or spoken words. Like we have the English language, and I gave several examples when we first started going over this. You may hear other languages like Italian or Spanish or I don't know, French. There's many types of languages across the world. The next word and the last word is imagine. And when you imagine something, you're forming a mental picture. Like when I read a book, I kind of put myself in that book. I'm in that character. I'm in the book. I don't know what's going on around me because I'm imagining that I'm in that setting. I'm in that place where the book is taking place. And I hope, guys, you are reading your AR books. I hope you are reading your AR books. I know you don't have any at home, but you can go to our digital library and you can still take AR tests. I showed y'all how to get to that when we were doing all this training last week on virtual stuff. All right, I'm going to review the amazing words, and this is the first one. The first one was scarce, and that means you hardly have anything. The next one is existence. It means it's here, it's now. All right, the next one, abundant. It means you have plenty of it, abundant, plenty. Elder means you're older. You may have an elder brother or sister. It means you have an older one. The next one is scorch. Scorch means you burn something. And the last one is shrivel. And shrivel means that you're going around and around. Shrivel. All right, guys, that's a review of our vocabulary and our amazing words. We also had our skill this week that we went over on yesterday, or actually I've been over it every day. All right, the literary elements. We have character, setting, and plot. Literary elements is just a group of things that happen in the story. So this week it's talking about the setting. The setting is when and where something takes place. And then it's talking about your character, which can be a person or an animal that's talking in the story or just reacting in the story. And then you have a plot, and a plot is sequence of events, which means what happens at the beginning, the middle, and the end. So we have, again, literary elements. Say that for me. Literary elements. Those are character, setting, and plot. There are other elements that go in a story, but these are the only 3 we're covering for this week in the testing skill. We're also covering the word inferring, and I talked about that on page 408. And inferring is the same thing as drawing a conclusion. When we had drawing a conclusion, a test or so back, we talked about the word inferring or inferencing. So both of those words mean the same thing. They're synonyms for drawing a conclusion. And that is basically when you take what you already know and things from the text and putting it together to form a sentence, an opinion about what you read. Okay, we also went over unknown words. And unknown words are at the page 410. That's when un is your prefix. And un, we learned from our dictation skill, means not. Unknown. That means they're not known to you. How you can figure out what a word is, you can use context clues in your text around the word. You can look it up in a dictionary. And when you look it up in a dictionary, you're going to practice some of this today on the workbook page. When you look it up in a dictionary, you can find in that dictionary, I'll show you this part right here. I'm going to show that to you. This is your workbook page 196 that you're going to be doing today. So on this, it tells you use a glossary or dictionary to find the meaning, syllabication, which means syllables, and pronunciation of an unknown word. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go over this instead of moving on, so you know that you have this to do after the video. So it's workbook page 196, and you have this tore out in your reading sleeve. Now notice that this is like a dictionary that's tore out. This is like a dictionary page that's torn out. You have dark, bold words. Do you see that? Dark, bold words. Those are your words. You have antler, imagine, language, narrator, overhead, and poke. That sounds like our vocabulary words, doesn't it? Okay, so notice beside antler, you have, or in antler, you have a little dot. That's dividing the syllables. I know in our Sunday system, we divide it with drawing a line or a dash. Okay, this one does it with a dot, and it doesn't matter as long as the syllables are separated. So if you think about antler, you think about the two sounds it makes, antler. So those are two syllables. So they're showing you that here by dividing the word with a dot. Next, right there, you see parentheses. You see A-N-T, an apostrophe L, a schwa E, and a R. So this is telling you how to pronounce this. This is the pronunciation of this word, antler. Then it tells you the part of speech, which means it's a noun. This one is a noun. Antler is a thing, so it's a noun. And then it tells you the definition, a bony branching growth on the head of a male deer, elk, or moose. Then it gives you further information. It says the plural form, or the plural right there, it means more than one, is antlers. And notice how they divide it with syllables again. So guys, you're going to use this right here. You're going to read your story, and then you're going to answer your questions. And again, this needs to stay in your reading sleeve. This is page 196. So today is Monday. This video is for Monday the 25th, and so that is part of your assignment. Once you get through watching the video, you're going to review your skills in your journal, and you're going to go to that workbook page 196, and you're going to do that for me. Okay? You're also going to read, I know I told you on the Friday video to read pages 412 through 417. You're going to reread that today, 412 through 417. Remember, this story is a play. It's a drama. So therefore, you have actors. Maybe it would be fun if you could get your siblings to be one of these characters that are highlighted in purple, and y'all can act out the play. All right, so 412 through 417. All right, there's one more page I want you to do in your workbook, and it's page 158. Okay, 158. Now, this has to do with the skill. This has to do with your literary element skill. It says 158. Mine's not showing that. Oh, well, maybe I'm on the wrong page, Miss Snapper. Hey, even make mistakes when kids aren't here. Okay, so we're going to look at this. Let me find the page. We're going to do page, where are you? 190. And if you look at page 190 in your workbook, it shows you character, setting, and plot. It gives you the 3 bullets that we always read. Characters are people or animals in a story. We learn about characters by what they do and say. The setting is where and when the story takes place. Reading. Read the following play, then answer the questions. So you're going to read this play, and then you're going to answer the questions. And if you get stuck on the word like setting, remember that's a dark bold word up at the top, and it gives you the meaning in that important information box. Okay, so you're going to do this as part of today's assignment, page 190, which is your plot, character, setting, and plot. And you're also going to do 196. So 196 and 190. So 2 workbook pages to do for your assignment. They're in your reading sleeve, so make sure you get those done for reading. Now, make sure you're clicking on all the things that are in Schoology, the different sections, and make sure you're commenting done when you're finished with them. You don't have to upload your submission to any workbook pages or journal entries. You just have to make sure if I submit something through Kami that you upload it through that, okay? So we'll move on to our next one in just a few minutes.